So let's talk 8th grade registration for Cavelero. Next week, you are making choices about your future. This, in the past, has been a longer video. I'm going to keep it really short because what I've been told by counseling is that you will not be going into Skyward and moving courses manually like you have in the past. Your classes will be auto-loaded, and then what you'll do is use a Google form to make changes. So that kind of reduces chances for error. And I guess it's worked well, so they're sticking with it. So that means we can focus mostly on our CTE electives. But before we do, some things we should be aware of. Our PE health semesters will be auto-loaded. Our social studies will be auto-loaded. Our math class will be the next class in the sequence. Our language arts, we have a choice between challenge and standard. If you're on IEP, you have other options, and your case manager will work with you to get the appropriate option for you. Now, science challenge is an option for the first time. And if we need to be aware that if we choose challenge science, we will take 8th grade and 9th grade science in a single year, which will give us the 9th grade science credit in 8th grade, which will open up another class period for your options in the future. And especially if your purpose is to attend a high target or reach college, which means one that has maybe, 40% acceptance rate or less, 20% acceptance rate or less. Definitely if you get into the 10% acceptance rate or less, you're going to need that cushion in your schedule to add more rigorous courses. So think about that when you make that decision. Electives-wise, you could begin band, or if you moved over from band and want to move back, this is probably about your last chance to get to do that. Choir will take you about any time they can get you. Leadership is another class, and actually all three of these I should mention are year-long courses. If you choose leadership, they're going to have you choose some alternates because leadership does require an application, or teacher recommendation, and a GPA consideration to fill those courses. And then there's Spanish. So your first year at a foreign language. If you enjoy Spanish or want to learn Spanish, that is wonderful. You should take that course. But if you're taking it for the purpose of meeting your foreign language requirements, especially if you're going to go on to a college that requires 3 years, please understand that the years have to be consecutive. So if you take your 8th grade year, you're committing to taking your 9th, and if it's a 3-year plan for you, then again your 10th. If you pause, if you leave that sequence, you take a year off, then that first year doesn't count. You have to do consecutive years and start over. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, we're going to dive into your CTE courses. The screen you see is Classroom. Now, we won't require that you're into Classroom to see these. I will send you the separate links to each of the course catalog pages separately in the message in which the link to this video will be. But for the students, what I did is I put an assignment in there. And again, it's not a graded assignment. It's not anything that they have to fill out. But it's an assignment because I wanted each one of them to have a copy of this document. Now, the document isn't anything spectacular. It's just an opportunity to write down what they think they want to take for 8th grade. It encourages them to pick some 9th grade classes and then maybe explore some 10th through 12th, because some of these courses have prerequisites. And also there's, if you want to take more advanced classes later on, you want to take the more basic classes as soon as you can. So that's just there for planning if you want to use it. Otherwise, we have the Cavelero course planning guide, the Lake Stevens course planning guide, and the Snow Isle Tech Center. There are other options. I'll show you where those are, but those seem to be the 3 most popular when we discuss CTE. So Cavelero, now we're talking 8th grade courses. Now, when you get to the page, please be aware that when you check the course listings, they list both 9th and 8th grade courses. They're not separate. They're not organized by year. What you have to look for in the course description is which grade that they are available. So this first one, computer science, is a 9th grade class. It's 1 year long. You get 1 CTE credit. It's under the business and marketing pathway in CTE. Requires a grade of B or higher in pre-algebra. And it offers the opportunity for dual credit. Yes, high school and college credits simultaneously. And then that would also give you the opportunity to do extended learning in VEX robotics. Again, 9th grade class, not something you're going to sign up for next year. But if that interests you, you'll put it on that form for 9th grade, because we're going to be looking out for prerequisites as we go through here. Computer applications, another 9th grade class. This you may have noticed in district communication. We have numerous kids each year that get certified in their Microsoft certifications, win state competitions, and win national competitions. So this is the magic. This is Mrs. Columby, and this is where that magic happens. So if that's your plan for 9th grade, it's coming soon. Business and marketing, another 1-year course. Digital design, a 1-year course. 9th grade. But notice the prerequisite. Now, it's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended that you take digital media in 8th grade. So that does affect my next year. Manufacturing foundations. Here's our first 8th grade elective. If you like to make things, if you like to be in the shop setting, Mr. McGrath, manufacturing foundations is what you want to take. If you enjoyed the LED nightlight, the Canjo, the dragster, the things that we make there, this is where you want to be. This also is a prerequisite recommendation for another course we'll look at in 9th grade, Introduction to Manufacturing. Flight and space, 8th grade elective option number 2. If you enjoy the skimmer, if you enjoy the idea of Boeing and NASA and rockets and drones, Mr. Linus teaches this class, and maybe Mr. Fredine. I'm not sure. Sometimes there's so many of them, they have to both teach it. Is an option for you. Robotics and automation. Okay, if you enjoy robotics, if you enjoyed Robotics Club, or you look forward to Robotics Club, or you just want to learn more about robotics to decide whether you want to be on the robotics teams that are so incredibly successful in Lake Stevens. Robotics is actually taught as a class during the school day. The lab is amazing. Again, you're going to see the names Linus, Fredine, and McGrath because they are the robotics coaches for Cavelero and the high school, and you will work with them. Principles of Engineering Technology, another 9th grade year class, STEM class, requires algebra. Introduction to Engineering Design, again, a freshman class, but when we start working with the 3D printers and we use the three-dimensional software, this uses Fusion 360 computer-aided design. You'll want to take that class. Back to 8th grade. Here's our other 8th grade option, digital media. And if you remember, this was the recommended prerequisite for the first digital arts class. So you might want to take that next year if you're interested in that. That puts you in front of a computer, all period. Okay, it's a computer-based class, learning the basics of PCs and exploring your digital art a little further than we do with the Illustrator in 7th grade. Introduction to Manufacturing. Here's the class I mentioned for freshmen, and that is a recommended Manufacturing Foundations in 8th grade. So if that's on your list, you want to sign up for Manufacturing Foundations next year. So those are the Cavelero options. Again, the 4 for 8th grade for next year are flight and space, robotics, digital media, and manufacturing foundations. And then we go over and take a look at the high school. Okay, what am I going to be in for after Cavelero? And the answer is a lot of things. So this is the whole course catalog for the high school. I'm just going to focus on career and tech. You're welcome to explore further if you want. This page takes a minute to load because there are so many courses available to you. I will not go through all of them. What's important is you know where to find them and you can start daydreaming about your future. There we go. Now they're loading. And I will just do a cruel, quick scroll through the many, and yes, the point is many. That's why I'm doing this. Options that you have. So explore those. And then there's also Snow Isle Tech. So your junior, senior year, you're then off campus exploring some of these other areas more specifically to earn certifications and on-the-job training. But again, I don't have the time to go into that. But it helps to kind of plan backwards. So for now, that's where I'm going to let you go. Just a chance to, spend the weekend looking at these things, and maybe into next week. I may reach out to you again after I actually see the up-to-date presentation. And if they left anything out or there might be anything confusing, you might hear from me again. All right. Enjoy your weekend. See you next time.